do not know.
Oh, we're live now?
I believe so. The information's still being sent to YouTube. Wait, I think it's connected now. Yeah, it's connected now.
Okay, so I'm getting on YouTube now.
Oi.
Okay, it says live.
Yeah, so we
Avatar's
are
in
live.
with us. Hi, Avatar.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. As you guys can tell, I'm Kidd. As you can tell, this is Candy. We are completely out of it today.
Seems to be happening a lot lately. You know?
For the last couple of, weeks?
Yeah.
Days?
Almost
Months?
like every Wednesday. And I even ventured to ask Kidd, are we supposed to change days for our live streaming?
Because it seems like that every time that it's Wednesday. Something comes in, something happens, and we're like...
I mean, yesterday we were both full of energy. What happened? I feel like I'm dragging butt.
Hi, Victoria. Hi, Lay.
Hi.
You know...
Hi, you two. Right? I love you too.
Let me see. What are we going to be talking about today?
Well, I have my notes. You want me to look at that? You got it on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My notes. Here we go. Okay. Do you remember about hijack dreams? What you wanted to say about that? What they told you when you're having a chasing dream, I think?
It's any type of negative dream, really.
Okay.
So I was watching a TikTok the other day. You know, it's always on TikTok. All the information that we get is on TikTok. But there's this guy that came over onto my FYP, and it talked about chasing dreams and negative dreams, how you should not cut them short, and you should do your absolute best to get through the whole thing, because it is a form of releasing negative trauma. But what's funny is that a couple days before I even got that video, the stars told me that chasing dreams, negative dreams, it is a form of being, hijacked in the fourth dimensional plane. Because if you are fearing for your life, if you are falling to your supposed death in your dream, and all this fear is coming up, it's not a releasing of trauma. It means that there is a being that has hijacked your frequency and has come into your experience to give you these negative feelings, so it would ruin your day. So when you wake up from these so-called traumatic experiences in your dream, you need to cancel all contracts that were made. It's very important to know that it really depends upon the type of dream. Yes, there are some that you are releasing the trauma. You are releasing all these negative supposed ions within your body to be able to get back into the flow of where you need to be. But you have to pay attention to how you are feeling, because when you're releasing trauma, it should not be a traumatic experience while you're releasing it. Kind of like when you smashed your finger. Mm-hmm. So Candi was in the kitchen making bread, and then while the bread was cooking, she was trying to make butter for that bread, a honey butter, and she wanted to whip it so it would be nice and fluffy, fluffy butter. And what's funny is that she had the blender plugged in, but as soon as she was putting in those, what do you call those?
The beaters?
The beaters. Her finger was inside, and her hand hit the on button, and it twisted her finger. So,
what was really interesting was that I kept having trouble with it. First, I was putting the beaters in before they, it was unplugged. Once they were in, I plugged it in, and then one of them popped out, and I realized, it was they were in the wrong spots, and so I just kept fiddling with it, and my fingers were a little greasy, and things kept slipping, and I got frustrated, and then I forgot to unplug it again when I was putting the beaters back in. My emotions got in the way. So go on.
But you told me when you were able to finally calm down that you felt traumatized.
I did. From that injury, I did.
So what I was cancel, delete that.
You're so cute. Oh, there's those cute dimples, too.
Shh. Leave my dimples alone. They have nothing to do with this. You didn't allow that traumatic experience or you didn't allow the emotions to overcome you. Because when you're having these dreams, you allow your emotions to overcome you. Now, when you're able to go through these dreams, these so-called traumatic dreams, by releasing this trauma within yourself, when you're releasing trauma, you're not allowing the emotions to overrun. You didn't allow your emotions to overrun. You were just focusing upon the pain. Mm-hmm. And then you were able to release that traumatic experience because you weren't allowing your emotions to overrun you. When you have these traumatic dreams and your emotions overrun what is happening and you wake up, right? Mm-hmm.
I've done that before.
A traumatic experience. That is the hijacking of the fourth dimensional plane that you're in. Mm. So you have to be conscious. You have to be aware of what is happening in these dreams. So if you're able to, in the dream itself, I cancel all contracts. I cancel it out. I destroy. I eliminate all things that are not here for my highest good. Before you go to bed, a good way on how to get into that mode of being able to release it is before you fall asleep, I cancel all soul contracts from here until I wake up.
Until I wake up.
Until I wake up.
You
can, cancel the rest of what needs to be canceled after you wake up.
Can I just cancel from now or from the beginning to the end of time?
You could, but then you're still flipping between fourth dimension, fifth dimension, third dimension, and things change.
Yeah.
And then the story changes, which means that you have to redo it again. It's like you have to keep on canceling it out. Keep on eliminating these layers of these onions that we're all dealing with.
Right. It's those onion layers.
It is those onion layers.
I hear Shrek talking to Donkey.
Donkey.
I am not an onion.
It's like, duck, ma'am.
Duck nails so ugly.
Ugly, honey. So, Leia's saying that my phone is goofing up as well. There is... Where'd they go? Uh-oh. So it's happening again with people. They have to leave and come back because the YouTube's all messing up.
Yeah, mine did that. Mine just kept spinning.
That's very interesting.
I'm the owner of the channel, and it was doing that to me. Wait a minute. Do we have any... Okay, so my phone is goofing up. She posted that a few minutes ago, and there's no more comments, which is weird. So are all of you still on? And Facebook, too. Are you guys still on?
It only shows 2, and I'm one of them. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, Allie Carter. So you guys remember the Truth Tour and what I said on the Truth Tour about when the kids come up, when the kids and the adults and whoever that was trafficked during that time, when it's time for them to shine and us to help them. Allie Carter said something that I basically said just in a different way. She said, when you are ready to help these kids, you need to basically stay in the high vibration and don't fix them. Because what I said is that you need to not say sorry, show no sympathy, show no weakness. You need to be strong during these times and let them know you are safe with me. You are safe. You don't need to speak right now. You don't need to talk about it. But when you are ready, I am here. And when you're ready to talk about it, my ears are open. You do not try to fix them. And showing sympathy, oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. That's basically going into that mode of trying to fix them. You're not showing strength. You're showing a form of, I'm not ready to help you.
So it's just like when I was going through my training for life coaching. They taught that when someone is crying, you don't offer them a tissue. You don't ask if they need a tissue. You allow them to cry, and you just sit there with them. And the reason for that is when you offer the tissue or ask that, it stops the healing process. It stops the tears. So you need to let that continue. And it's the same thing what you're saying about the healing process.
So Bob and Anna says, I dreamed of bears last night. I was trying to save 12 puppies. 12 little souls. I don't consider that weird at all. What I believe from what you are saying is that you are saving 12 innocent souls from being consumed by a negative force.
That's how I saw it too. Yeah.
So there's all sorts of different things that you need to be aware of when you are going into this fourth dimensional plane of dreaming. Because that also is a parallel universe of our universe, which you are doing things in that universe in the spiritual realm of things, which is just the opposite side of who we are. So I would say that's awesome. It's a good day because the bug says so. Yes.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, we were thinking about what we were going to name the live stream, and I brought that up. And we're both sitting here feeling, heavy with the energies and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck the box.
So, Allie Carter has come forward, and the one that she ran away with is also going to be coming out too. She just sent a video on TikTok saying, I'm coming out soon. Allie Carter, sister, I got your back. So they're going to start coming out. So now is the time for us to stand strong. Because the kids, the men, the women, whoever that was down there, they're going to start coming up. And they're going to start showing themselves. And we're going to have to start standing strong. We're going to have to be there, not to fix them, not to show them sympathy, but to be that rock that they know that they can lean on and that they are safe with. Because we are the foundation of what they can build off of.
Do you remember when we would go live with Jason Q and we began to talk about this kind of thing, and we wanted to set up groups to help get people ready for this kind of training, right? To help those who have been injured. And how long ago was that? 3 years? And it's finally here. It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Oh. The flooding. The flooding of the tunnels. We also wanted to talk about that too.
I didn't have that in my notes. I forgot about that.
Oh,
so, excuse me.
I was shown that the flooding of the tunnels is not really flooding of the tunnels, because if you think about it, if you tie certain things together, kind of like the Mandy says 3.5 years. Yeah, it's been that long. The flooding of the tunnels. Back on track. So if you take all the videos of the truckers going underneath into the tunnels, right? And they showed the videos of, and the pictures of the stacks of food that they've saved. Now, if and that food can feed all of humanity for what, 150 years?
Yeah, that's what it said. Mm-hmm.
And if they flood the tunnels, what do you think is going to happen to all that food? It's going to create mold. It's going to create black mold. It's going to create all sorts of different things. Everything is going to collapse in those tunnels, which means that they're not going to flood it with water per se. But what if the flooding of the tunnels is flooding of nanobots? And like you said with the scripture, you can hide. You could try to hide. You can run and hide, but what?
Oh, okay. So in Revelations, it says people will want to hide from the pestilence or what is coming, and they want to avoid being stung by it, and they want to die, but they won't be able to.
So they have these tunnels set up to where even if it was flooded with water, they will be safe. But if they flooded it with nanobots, you can run, but you can't hide. And that was not for us. It was not for us. It was for them. They can run, but they can't hide, because if they release all these nanobots in there and they can program them to specifically target certain frequencies, certain vibrations, and the vibrations and the frequencies of the evil ones, of what they have drunk, of what they have eaten, of what they have done. So, the flooding is not really flooding, but it is a filling of a certain thing that is going to get rid of what needs to be gotten rid of down there, and that's what's going to take a while. Because they have to go through all the tunnels, and it's around the whole world.
Yeah, it's extensive.
So, that is what was shown to me. It's not flooding of water. What else did we want to talk about?
My notes are the 15-minute cities and the flooding. Did you?
Oh yeah, the 15-minute cities. So my stars had something to say about that too. The 15-minute cities. Now, we've been thinking that all these 15-minute cities, all these things that they are setting up as negative things against us, but what if it is actually for us? Because if you think about it, what the stars said is that a lot of these buildings, a lot of these things have to be demolished, have to be purified, has to be cleansed. And the only way to cleanse it and purify it is with what? What do you use to purify and cleanse gold and silver?
Fire.
Fire. Now, connect all this with the Simpsons predictions. The dome that went over Springfield? What if these 15-minute cities are to get us ready for that dome to be put over these certain cities? So once they get these 15-minute cities up and running, they move us all into these 15-minute cities, enclose those 15-minute cities in a dome that is weatherproof, that is fireproof, that is waterproof, that is all sorts of different proof, and then you connect it to the movie Moonfall. And when the moon got closer to the earth, what was happening? Destruction, fire, tsunamis, all sorts of things were done to create a destruction to get rid of certain things. So, tie that all together. Think about it. These 15-minute cities are all around the world in these major different cities. Here in Washington, it's Portland and Tacoma. I think it was Tacoma. And Seattle, I believe. Or was it just Portland and Seattle?
Mandy says Trump talked about a shield of defense.
So that could be it too. Think about it, because everything needs to be destroyed. So when the rebuild happens, it has to be after that.
The cleansing.
The cleansing.
Because there's so much, so much wicked, bad chemical crap that is around the whole world. How is it going to be cleansed from the earth, right? And to bring back all the beauty and the health. Yeah. So, let's see. Sense of smell connects us to the others. You want to talk about that too?
It was a TikTok that was showing different pictures of the Atlanteans, the Egyptians, other things. But what's funny is that, why do you think that they created allergies? And what happens with the allergies? It stuffs up your nose, which then clogs the ears, makes your eyes water. Everything is connected with the sense of smell, and the sense of smell is connected directly to the pituitary gland, right? Which means that when they were sticking that thing up your nose, they were sticking it into your pituitary. Right? Why would they need to go that far up your nose just to get a test done? Well, that's to block certain things, and they were trying to block your sense of smell. And the sense of smell is the one, if you think about it, ants, what sense do they use? Smell. Scallops. Scallops. Smell. Everything is based off of smell. Dogs, smell. Cats, smell. So much smell. Everything is connected to smell, right? And every sense that you have is also connected to the smell, because if you get rid of the smell, you get rid of basically everything else. Which means that our sense of smell helps us to connect to the etheric realm, which is another reason why when you could say a ghost or a spirit that walks by you, you have that tingling sensation, and most of the time, you have that smell. Ooh. Ooh, think about it. That is one of the best ways that you can connect with the etheric realm is through the sense of smell. Which is why they came up with the allergies. To get you to block you from connecting to the etherics. Which is another reason why Hape is so powerful, is because when you're blowing it up your nose, it goes into your sinus cavities and starts clearing it out. Which is why you blow your nose so much after you do it. Scallops.
Wait, what?
I don't want none of those scallops for dinner. Oh.
That's hilarious. So, Gloria brought up about the Iron Dome.
Yeah.
And she also said birth control blocks smell.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the antidepressants also block smell.
Oh yeah, they've done so much to shut us down. My team was showing me about that very thing and how they have. Oh, do you remember how we've seen pictures back in the 40s and 50s? People weren't overweight like they are now.
Mm-hmm.
They really upped all the chemicals and the shots and everything. That's because there were souls coming into our world to already raise the frequency, and it was happening even before that. But it was in a momentum. That's what my team was showing me, in a momentum. And they had to shut us down so that we didn't go, ascend faster into our gifts and into our power and into our knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, they knew it was going to happen. It was part of the plan. They've known all of this.
So a lot of the buildings that have been taken over, going back to the cleansing of the earth that needs to be done, the chapels, the churches, the old, like the Eiffel Tower, the whatever other tall buildings that they have marked as historical things. Things. They put those laws into effect that we can't tear them down because they have overrun them and took that free energy. They have overrun them and made them into you could say, an outpost for negative energy. And once it was converted into that, it became something that we can no longer use. But it is also put there to hold certain souls. If you have watched the movie, I think it was Infinity? Infinite?
What's that?
It was either the movie called Infinity or Infinite. Infinite. One of those.
Probably Infinite.
It might be. But in that movie, what they did was that when someone died, they would capture their consciousness and put it onto a disc. And then they would put that in a specific place. And what the stars are showing me is that these big buildings that they have captured souls. And the only way to release them is not by breaking down the buildings, because it's not going to release them. It has to be purified by fire. Why do you think that they burned that church down? To release certain souls. Souls can only be purified and released and free when fire is put into effect.
That's a good point. Both City of Trees and who was it on here? Ellen. Both said that the poison apple, you know, that thing, it was designed to remove smell.
And the stick rods.
It's terrible. And you know, we really weren't aware of all the deviant that they had with that and how it was going to affect us. By the way, there is information coming out. In one of Mr. T's rallies, he said that I may be gone or I may disappear. I don't remember how exactly he said it. But, and then you won't see me anymore. Now, more stuff is coming out that's talking about him having to bow out before the military takes over. So I don't know what that's going to look like. We've all received some information, and we thought maybe it wasn't going to happen, but it looks like it's still on its way. It just hasn't gotten here yet. So when it does, keep your wits about you. Be in the observant mode, and don't let your emotions get ahead or a hold of you.
Well, just also remember, we haven't seen the real Mr. T in years.
Yeah.
Which means that whatever is going to pass, whatever that you see, it's not the real him.
Yeah. So, you know, there is something to be said about what they keep saying you're watching a movie. Don't forget, there's crisis actors. Keep that in the back of your mind. I was reminded of that. A couple days ago, I was telling you about that, remember? Yeah, don't forget.
Oh. Allie Carter also said that it's not the big names that's going to surprise you. It's the little ones. It's who you know personally that you'd be so surprised.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's
you were telling me about that.
It's not the bigger people.
Can you imagine realizing that your child was sitting in a classroom being taught by someone who is going to be arrested? Can you imagine?
Abercrombie and Fitch, but all three CEOs gone.
Yeah. Arrest warrants sent out. Yeah.
No, they're actually arrested.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They were taken in.
Yeah.
Completely. So
You're right.
Those 3 CEOs are gone. The CEO of the shipping place that begins with A.
Oh, really?
He's most likely going to be gone soon.
The one everyone orders from?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay.
AZ. Mm-hmm. Emma.
AZ lazy.
He's going to be gone soon. But it's the little people that's going to be
And the
biggest
pastors
surprise.
are going to be a shock for a lot of people.
Well, there's already been a few pastors that's already been arrested because they've been caught red-handed. One of the pastors actually, well, I was hearing it on TikTok. One of the pastors, he actually was telling his wife, so I want a man cave. He built himself a man cave, and he built his wife her own room upstairs, and they made an agreement that they would not go into each other's rooms. And when he was gone, some girl ended up in their house with a knife pointing at the wife, and the wife had a pew-pew and pew-pewed her because she lunged at her, and she was going to call the police, but she called her husband first, and the husband was like, no, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. Just keep it, that. Don't worry about it. Just forget about it. And after a little while, days went by, and something happened, and she just decided to call the police and get it all taken care of. And what they found is that when the police came over to the house, checked the whole house, went down to his room, his man cave, you would think that it's, beer lights and pool tables and whatever men do, right? Well, there was a bed, cameras, and a chain connected to the wall. And the girl that was in the house was actually in that room, chained up. And she was able to finally break free. And you know the rest of the story.
And every one of those pastors was involved with all of that. And so they went...
About 8 different men?
They went and arrested them, and it broke up their families, and the wives didn't know. I mean, it just affected so many. That's what they were saying.
We're going to be surprised. Oh, talk about that. You remember how all of this is like a hydra, right? All the evil ones, we were talking about that. All the evil ones are like the hydra. Everything that's happening. And if you cut off the head of a hydra, 2 more pop up. Which, if you connect that with what we talked about last week, with if somebody supposedly is executed, it really means that they're put on ice. If you execute that being, it means that 2 more are going to be popping up, which is why they have to put them on ice. They have to put them in the back burner. They have to put them away. Because if you think about it, if they literally executed them, it means that their soul has a chance to reincarnate and do it all over again. So they have to put them on ice and get rid of them all at the same time with a certain machine that obliterates that soul. So it does not reincarnate.
You know what's interesting? It reminds me so much of what I learned about parasites. In that when the mother parasite that's laying eggs everywhere is alive, she's putting out a hormone that keeps all the babies without hatching, asleep. And once she is taken care of, that hormone dissipates, and then you have another whole hatching.
Slew of hatchlings.
Yeah.
So it's
It
just
reminds
like
me of
that. You have to get rid of the whole thing. You can't just get rid of one and expect all the others to just fall away. 2 more pop up. That's why there's so many heads, because they got rid of one and 2 more popped up. They got rid of another, 2 more popped up, which is why it's so deep and so intricate that they have to put them all on ice because we learned our lesson. Lay says Mike Jeffries arrested.
Who's that?
I don't know who Mike Jeffries is.
Oh, Mike! No, okay.
And Mandy says we need to bring back bells. Yes. Bells create that vibration that demons, well, certain vibrational beings, let's just say that, certain vibrational beings cannot withstand that frequency of a bell, which is why they got rid of all of them.
So, we also wanted to talk about the collective tuning.
Oh, yes. What?
Are you going to leave that to me?
You started off. I'm drinking my coffee.
Okay, so collective tuning is a service that we're offering at least once a week. We are interceding for you, doing the clearing. The team shows us what needs to be done. Like last week, we got together and we were planning on doing it on, Tuesday?
Yes.
And there was so much chaos in trying to do that, we just walked away from it.
The distraction was tenfold.
So it wasn't time. But when we came back together on, Thursday?
I think so.
Whatever it was. The next time to do it, it flowed. And we had the information that we needed to take care of for those that are part of that tribe.
So what's funny is that when we first started doing it, and then we had those distractions, I was releasing and connecting with what everyone was already going through. It was like channeling through me, and I was just, having to let it all go, just, eliminate it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we were able to finally get into that flow of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what we do with these collective tunings is that we take your consciousness out into the energetic field. We put up a safe barrier around all of us, and then we cleanse your etheric soul, your auric fields. We then set up protection barriers around your properties, around you and your loved ones, so you can go through the week with having a clear sense of mind, of knowing that you are clear and you're able to do what you need to do.
So we're getting really good feedback. And we wanted to invite you to be a part of it. So right now it's on the honor system, and we're asking for a love gift of $24 a month to be a part of that. So just reach out and let us know that you want to be a part, and we'll get you all set up. Okay, so what's next?
I think I've talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. If anybody has any questions about what was shared today, please send in those questions. I'll see if I can answer it, if I can.
It's interesting that there are TikToks coming out and videos on Facebook that I'm noticing. The first thing they say is trigger.
Trigger warning?
Trigger warning, so that you can decide if you want to listen to it or not. And keep your observant mode when you listen to people, because some are actors for a narrative, not real, to lead you astray or to invoke drama,
confusion, separation. Be very conscientious of the separation. Remember what we learned. Remember what we learned, you guys. Separation cannot be reformed. It has to be abolished. Any type of separation. So, kind of like the, what do you call that? The infiltration of our dreams. When you're emotional, that is causing separation. That is causing the infiltration. Cancel it all out. Get rid of it. That is not the thing that you need to focus upon. If you are focusing upon it, it means that there is something that you need to go deeper within yourself to cancel out, because there's something that is coming into your experience that is allowing this being to come into your experience and do what it needs to do for you. Or do what it needs to do to you. I'm sorry. Mandy asks, do you think the election will happen? What's funny about that is that I also heard something on TikTok that if there is something that happens to more than 100 of our council or government officials, the senators and all that type of stuff, I forgot
Congress.
The Congress. Sorry, if there is something that happens to over 100 or more congressmen or congresswomen, then there will be none of that. There won't be an E per se. But I honestly, if nothing were to happen, I believe. From what the stars told me, there is going to be one, just not how we think it's going to go. It's not going to be a presidential one, I would say, but of something else.
So, if we were to take what he just said and reflect back in the Old Testament of the Bible, when Moses was leading the tribe out of Egypt, and he would spend all day long hearing cases, hearing stories, and saying what needs to be done, giving the guidance, right? And he would be absolutely exhausted. And so the people closest to him would recommend that he not be the only one, but that he would set up other people to help, because it was too hard on just one person. And those were called like councils. And then years later, with, who was it? The other prophets that came after Moses, with King David and King Saul. Remember that? When David was working to help King Saul. God said, or through the prophets, I never wanted you to have a king. You wanted it. The people wanted it. And so now we're bringing that back, a big circle, right? And now we're coming to the place to where we'll get rid of the king and do how it was originally planned with councils. So this is what we're kind of thinking it might go, but being in the observance, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I just wanted to bring that up about what went on with in the Bible, what it said about it.
So Maria asked, Ed, what do you know about the Earth's reflection on the moon? That's very interesting. If you think about it, what reflects a mirror?
A
or
dome.
Metal? And what's the moon? Like in Moonfall? It is the, what do you call that? What did they call it? It was the...
Megastructure?
Megastructure. A supposed ship. So, and a ship is made up of what? Metal. And it can have what? Reflection. So, I would say that the moon is more than what we think it is. Yes, it's a megastructure. Yes, it's a ship. And yes, it reflects what we see with this dimensional plane of this 3D Earth. So that's what I believe, is that it is the reflection of us, which is why which is why it shows the reflection of what we see with this Earth per se. And it doesn't reflect the others because it's just for this supposed dome.
So, City of Trees says I can give you guys an idea of what's going to happen. It's in that prophecy. Which prophecy, babe?
The eagle, Ezra's eagle. And no, I have not heard about Ezra's eagle.
I haven't either. The Apocrypha. It's in the Apocrypha. It's a prophecy. You also got to remember that Mr. T did say that he will be back in some shape or form. He
That
did?
is true.
Oh, okay.
I did hear that. Just probably not in this body, maybe in a different body.
So, you know what's interesting is that my friend was telling me her experience when Mr. T was elected, and she said she was with two friends who were not spiritual at all. And she said, please tell me if this is a good thing. And all of a sudden, she saw Mr. T on TV dressed in royal blue garb with like a hat and pointy shoes and robes. And she went, oh my God. And her friends go, oh my God. And she looks at them and she said, you see that? And they said, yes, we see that. And we also heard what you asked in your prayer. So that was interesting. That was very interesting.
Wasn't that the same group that heard the witch say, get out of my city?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That was a totally different one.
But the moon has land that used to be, which has now sunk. It's also reversed. But if you take a look at the mirror, that's also what? Reversed. So what I'm thinking is that what they have done, remember, we also talked about the mirrors. What's on the other side of mirrors? Mimics. And what's the reflection of the moon? Could be the mimic of the world that we used to live in. So, that's where we used to live. The reflection, we're seeing, what do you call that? The opposite. We're living in the opposite dimension of what we used to live in.
Right now?
Well, we had to flip.
When did that happen?
Long time ago.
Oh.
When they took over, they flipped everything.
Oh, a long time ago.
Long time
Thousands
ago.
of years ago.
Long time ago. They had the technology because when they were showing the structures of the pyramids and the Mayans and the Atlanteans and all that type of stuff, those buildings, those structures, they were not hand carved. Because what they did was that they put that beside another picture of somebody laser, what do you call that? Drilling.
Using a laser?
Using a laser.
Uh-huh.
And it looked the same as what's over there.
Wow.
They did not have the technology or the ability to make it by hand. It had to be by laser, and that was made many years ago.
Do you that brings to mind, do you remember the movie Alien and Predator, where the science team goes to the pyramid and they go in there and find a sacrificial chamber, and that's when everything started. Someone moved something, and then those people were shut down in the sacrificial chamber.
Oh, in the Alien versus the Alien?
Yeah, Alien and Predator.
Alien versus Predator, I think it was.
And if you think about it, they didn't know that there were aliens. They didn't know that there were predators. They're both aliens, right? But
anything that's not us is alien.
To us, yeah. Because we were kept so much in the dark. We didn't know. We only know what we're taught, right? Unless we get a divine thing. But then they shut that down, too, for most of us. And those who did have a voice, they were shut down. They were not allowed to share it. There was no social media to share it all over the world. And when it did, they shut those down. And they deactivated accounts. Think about it. I mean, they were very ruthless in how they tried to stop everything. But that movie, Alien versus Predator, it's so interesting how that just goes with what you just said about the pyramids. They looked at all of that type of engraving. They
have to be rebuilt too. Those also have to come down. So going back to the tunnels really fast. So the 15-minute cities, they're going to put the domes over those. The indestructible domes. And they're going to clean out the tunnels, not with water, but with the nanobots. Right? And then we're able to use the tunnels as the world is being cleansed. So that's the only way to be able to get from city to city and travel where we need to travel to. And then once everything's done, we do the rebuild, then those 15-minute cities come down.
Interesting.
And then to go with Maria, it also has more land than the Earth is supposed to have. So it's showing the reflection what the Earth is plus more. Outside of the ice wall. Just my thoughts upon that. So I haven't really studied upon the moon much, but I know that they're going to use the moon to come into our atmosphere to create what needs to be created to create the purification.
So, okay, that reminds me. Maria said that she was given a dream and she saw pound, pound, pound on the earth, and things started to break apart and level out. And there was something like she asked a question and we're not done. pound, 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 more leveling. She said, that's coming. And then there was someone, oh no, that's fine. I don't remember where I saw it. Someone said something about there being a cleansing too, and it was really good, but I don't remember what they said.
I don't want to use those dirty tunnels. It's only for a time. But I think we're going to be given a choice before that happens. We can either stay and be in the 15-minute cities and use the tunnels to travel as the cleansing happens, or you can go up on the ships.
Who votes for going up on the ships?
Me. Well, you're going to have access to both, which is why we're also taking control of the stargates, which is why stargates are popping up all over the place. There's one that was popped up. I forgot the place close to New York. Mm-hmm, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm, it was.
And then there's other places as well. And right now they just have a little sign saying this is for basically just, decoration. Mm-hmm. There are going to be portals connected to certain ships while all this is happening, so you're able to come back to these 15-minute cities. And you can also go onto the ships. It really is just, we're going to have access to so much while this is happening. So just keep an open mind and don't allow any of the lower frequencies, lower vibration of the separation to happen. Just know that things are going to be happening for our benefit. If you don't want to use the tunnel, that's okay. You can go up on the ship. That's where I'm going to go. I'll be jumping from ship to ship.
I'm looking at Izzy's comment. Love our Wednesdays with C and K. I'm like, who's C and K? Oh, that's right. Candi and Kidd. Usually it's flipped, Kidd and Candi.
So we're going to have access to so much that we can do. And this also the time that we're going to be getting reunited with the loved ones that have already left. So remember when Jason Key said that our loved ones are going to be coming back just in a different form? They're already on the ships. Think about it. Their soul was already taken from this physical vessel and put into another vessel, which is out up on the ships.
I really believe that some of the people that we love so dearly that are facing some of these tragedies are brought up on the ship before they face the tragedy. And they're in the healing chambers and having lots of fun and getting training and whatnot and being prepared to greet us when we get there.
Well, also think about it.
But that, I don't mean death, though.
Remember the stars said that the med beds will fix the physical being, but it will not fix the mentality. That's when the training comes in. The training has to happen for you to be released from that supposed traumatic experience. The machine can't do that for you, but you can take the supposed courses that they have that will help with, letting go of that trauma. And if they do it right, meaning that if they take all their experiences that they have learned down on this earth and applied it with the training that they're getting up there, they're going to be an unstoppable force.
Beautiful. I love all this stuff coming out. This is very Lisa M. Harrison. I don't know who that is.
All our animals are also going to be coming with us.
We have a lot of chickens.
Extra food. There's sanctuaries for the animals.
That's wonderful.
So you could take your animals with you, or you can put your animals on the sanctuary ship. Everything's going to be taken care of. There is no separation. There is no, you go this way, your animals go that way. No, you have a choice. You could put your pets in a sanctuary ship, and you can go visit them. They are yours. And they're going to start to learn how to communicate. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be talking with them. We're not going to be like, oh, good boy, good girl. We're actually going to have conversations.
Can you imagine your pet coming up? Oh, thank
you treated
God.
me so horribly.
No.
You did not scratch my back when I told you to. You did not pick up my poop when I wanted you to.
I was coming at it from the other point of view. Is thank God you can hear me now.
And Mandy says, I've had visions of me on ships, but in uniform. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So, yeah, there is so much that's going to be happening. All this information, all you have to do is just keep an open mind and know that everybody has their own opinions about all of this type of stuff. But if any of this type of information brings any form of separation, you know that the information means it needs to be changed, that there's something that's missing. There's always something that's missing. Like you and I always say. So when Candy and I do shrimp and we take off our shrimp tails, we're always reaching in, we're always finding one more. And we always say that there's always one more. That's how you need to be with all this information. There's always one more thing that's missing. Always one. Until it finally is done. Until it's finally all connected. And there's no fear, no separation, nothing that is lower frequency, nothing with lower vibration. Everything is all high vibration, and everything is coming together as one.
I hear you negative, Noah.
I hope my dog will cook me dinner for a change.
I heard about that. What I do? That's Maria, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I heard about that. That's
UK.
so funny.
In the UK, a law was passed requiring people to register their chickens. So the UK people registered fluffy toys, chicken nuggets, etc. and crashed the site. Very British.
Yep. Love it.
It's like the snail, honey. It's ugly the snail. We heard about that too. Candy came up to me and was like, listen to this. They broke the site. I have one chicken nugget,
Well, that's a
two
stupid
chicken
law.
nugget, 3 chicken nuggets.
They just want to Well, you know what? So there's like two thoughts to that. One, that they want to control everything and they're still out there, or they are purposely doing that to show what their agenda was and how controlling they have been. Because people need to see it. People need to have their eyes opened up. They need to come out of their sleepy coma. The sleepy coma.
Right. Mm-hmm. Deborah, we thank your father for his service. She said, for business in the early 60s, my dad was taken underground, and he said there are cities under cities with roads, stores, etc. He was a World War II veteran, and it always made him nervous. Yes, that is very true. Both KH, the one that we hate, and Allie Carter, they both have said that the walls down underneath in the tunnels are not like dirt or whatever. It's like your house type walls, or cement walls, or something like that. It's, smooth, and there's lights and everything like that, and there's cities and stores. Yes, I do believe that. I
don't think I have, Ray. Ray asked, have you heard the story of Black Jesus? This happened about 60 years ago.
I heard about Black Jesus. Yes, I've heard about that story. But also, somebody talked about the scripture of them identifying Jesus, and they said, the soles of his copper feet. Copper. This is not copper. This is white. Copper is brown. Copper is the other color. So when they say white Jesus, that's whitewashed. Whitewashed shit.
Too much time.
And if you think about it, like what Jason Key says, the pigment of your skin also showed the power that you had. Had. Because they took that power away from you. And now that we're starting to finally get back into that connection, everything about us is changing. If you notice, we're all starting to get on that same frequency. Everything about us is changing. Mm-hmm. Soon I'm going to be brown too. We're all going to be brown.
Well, soon you won't be able to see me. I'll be invisible.
Are you talking about because of the black? Never mind.
You're so funny. Okay, I just got that. No, kid. You could still see my eyes and teeth if I smiled with that. No, I mean really invisible, because the 3D world won't be able to see me on too. Yeah. It was just
Lisa Transcendence Brown. Mm-hmm. By the way, got a hit. For those that know of Lisa Transcendence Brown and how she just fell off the face of the earth, we're going to be seeing her again soon. Mm. So, those that know of her, just know.
Back to work, huh?
Mm-hmm.
She did a lot.
What Maria says, I think the underground cities were the normal cities until they got buried. Supposedly got buried. Some of it did, but most of it didn't. They've been building these cities for centuries. Oh my goodness. If you think about it, so I was watching a Doctor Who. Going right back to Doctor Who again. I think it was season 1, 2, 3. After her is Amelia Pond and Rory? I know it's Amelia Pond and Rory. I think that's 4. I think it's on the 5th season. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the 5th season. I believe it's the 5th season. No. Yes. They did some tunneling, and what's funny is that the reptilians had cities underground already, which means that they've been building even before humans came down to this earth, because we are the, what do you call that? The rejects.
The ants in the ant farm.
You could say that. And the reptilians were even here before us. And what's funny is that the reptilians don't eat humans. They never did on the Doctor Who, which I would believe is true for me. I don't know about anybody else, but the reptilians, they would eat flesh, but they would not eat human flesh. And when they are angry, they would, hunt us when they wanted to. But we were never their main prey. Everything was prey. So, everyone that says all reptilians are bad, not all reptilians are bad. There are some reptilians out there that are our friends, that are there to help us. It's just the evil ones are more pertinent up here. The good ones don't really show themselves all that much because of how brainwashed we were into thinking that all reptilians are bad, all greys are bad, all demons are bad. One of my stars is a demon. And we know him as Grumpy Star. He's of the demon race. And he's one of the stars that keeps us in line. Because he knows how to use the energy of the demonic race to guide us in a different way. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, it's interesting, but you've introduced me to some animes where it was the demons, right? And they were good. And then look at the movie Discovery of Witches. There are demons, and they're good. Yeah, I mean, there's
they give people a voice.
There are connotations that we have been led to believe.
Right.
And so all of that is straightening out now. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm.
And even Grumpy Star likes the singing bowls and the bells. That frequency, because he heightened himself to that frequency.
Who?
Grumpy Star.
Oh, okay. Ooh, Grumpy Star's scary when he comes out.
Oh, yeah, he is. But he keeps us in line.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, excuse me?
Yeah, he knows.
You gonna cry and complain, you little slut? I'll give you something to cry and complain about. No. I'm like, okay. I'll straighten up. Good.
Yeah. Well, remember that time? You guys might get a kick out of this for those who have been with us from the beginning.
Discovery of Witches is on Netflix? We bought it on, what do you call that? Prime. Amazon Prime.
And we have it on Vudu, too.
Oh, we do? Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, Discovery of Witches is amazing. Hippie chick. So, I was going to tell you something. Now I can't remember. Oh. Fudgicles.
Maria says you should see the buildings around here in Bayswater.
Right there.
Bayswater, England, and half of them are more than 2 stories lower than the ground level. Yes, I've seen pictures of those too. It is crazy. Mm-hmm. Doctor Who was a trip. Mm-hmm. I hope my little dog don't tell my wife all the crazy shit I say about her. She probably already knows.
Right?
And Ray says, it's not that. This has to do with an individual who did all the things that Jesus did, and the government tricked him. Ah. Where did Candy go? Tanika says, Kidd and Candi, I am experiencing a few things in my current situation that you have talked about with Kidd. Dealing with my cousin at the moment with her drug charges, and she just had a baby yesterday. Ooh. It's been really crazy here. I will have to get with you all very soon for a detailed reading and clearing. Sounds good, Tanika. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is on Netflix. That's interesting how it finally came out on Netflix, huh?
And only 6 episodes?
That's it? We got all 3 seasons, honey.
It's such a powerful movie.
Especially...
when she learns her spellcasting.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's where I got the... what do you call that? Satu Yavanin, I bind you and deliver you into the hands of the goddess without power or craft. Mm-hmm. That's where I got that part. Mm-hmm. It is very powerful to use that. The stars, as soon as that came up, the star says that you need to use that. Mm-hmm. Because when you're binding them without power or craft, you are eliminating any type of spiritual essence that they are using against you. And you are binding it and delivering it into the hands of the one that can charge them with what needs to be charged with. Because we are not ones that can be the judges of someone else at this moment, but the higher beings can.
I have, Cheryl. Two different types I have.
And the knots, the knot of one, the spell's begun. The knot of two, the spell is true. The knot of three, the spell is free. The knot of four, the spell I store, or the power I store. Sorry. The power I store. The knot of five, the spell will thrive. The knot of six, the spell I fix. This spell I fix. The knot of seven, the spell will waken. Or was it the power will waken? Spell will waken. The knot of 8, the spell will wait. The knot of 9, the spell be mine. The knot of 10, it begins again. That was very powerful.
The first time I saw the reptilian, it shocked me.
So I have not seen a reptilian per se, but when I was on the crystal meth journey, yes, YouTube, Facebook, I was on crystal meth. Deal with it. I was fooling around with somebody, this man, and when I was doing the naughty doo-doos thingies, I saw his body shifting and it was just showing its true self, kind of like RIPD, the Rest in Peace Department, RIPD, yeah, Rest in Peace Department.
It's a movie.
If you guys have not seen it, go watch it. It is freaking hilarious. How they went from human to demon form. Or to this goblin or whatever it is form. It looked just like that. So I believe he was a reptilian? I don't know. But he was some sort of goopy thingy, and it freaked me the hell out. So I just told him, get the hell out and go away.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, so, not a trigger warning, but this is not something for... You know what? I'm not even going to get into it. Never mind. Let's just drop it.
Okay, so, you know what? Kidd and I went somewhere this week, and I didn't recognize it at first, but then our third conversation with this security guard, he acted just like the Jeep driver on Jumanji. Remember when they realized they were asking the Jeep driver questions, and he kept repeating himself because
welcome to Jumanji.
Yeah, yes. Because he's a CPA NPC,
non-playable character.
Yeah, and this guy was a what do we call it? A robot, AI.
An AI generated thing, yeah.
Yeah. And he just kept repeating things. And there was no life in him. There was no personality. It was just odd that I recognized it. I was like, whoa. You saw it too, because we talked about it later. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we went to the SSC.
SSA. But that's okay. We don't need to go over that.
It's the social building. We don't want to, say certain words, so we're going to, what do you call that? Code it. Social building.
Yeah.
With a word of security after that S word. Office building. Because we were going to change our
information. That's all we need to say.
To something of national. And things, we waited in line for over an hour, got to the desk where they were going to put us where we needed to go to change this type of information, and they said, we can't help you out here, never heard of this, and the manager came over and said that we needed to contact this place, so we called that place, and that place was like, we don't know what you're talking about, we don't have that type of information, so we cannot do anything for you. So Candy was like, maybe I should go back in. So she went back in, talked to the manager, and the manager said, yeah, we can actually do that for you. So we're going to change you here, come back in, and we're going to put you back on the ticket. So Candy came out to grab me. We both went back in. And what's funny is that she started texting one of our good friends, and then he called. So she went outside, talked with him. She came back inside, and what did you say to me?
I said, I want you to come outside with me, and I want to share with you what I just heard. And if you agree, we'll leave. And if not, we'll come back in.
So I went out with her. We talked, and she was like, maybe we should leave, huh? Do you feel like that we should leave? I said, yeah, let's just go. So we left, and then what we found out is that that building, whoever that it was, that manager went to the computer, saw our information, and wanted us to do this type of information so we could be hoodwinked, trapped. Because everything that we need to do for this national is not based off of the security, the SS, but it's based off of our passport. And if we changed our security, I think we would have been stuck. Something would have happened, and we would not be able to access certain things that are based off of that security. So what I'm getting at is that that building sent out a frequency to change and to manipulate and to entrap us, and it almost drew us in. So be very conscientious about these buildings, which is why, another reason why, we have to get rid of all of these buildings. They have to be purified and destroyed by fire. Which is why the witch hunts were killed by fire. Because if you drowned the witches, they would still come back to life. So you had to drown the witches and then behead them and then burn them.
Wow. 3 deaths.
To be able to get rid of the witches. Same thing with these buildings. Same thing with this world. Whatever that they have up on this world, it needs to go now. Everything needs to be overturned. Everything needs to be purified and cleansed, which is why they're to go right back into what we were talking about earlier, the 15-minute cities, the portals, the tunnels, everything is connected. Everything.
That was what an experience. When we got home, Kidd pulled cards for us, and he showed me the cards, and I'm like, what does that mean? Because only Kidd reads cards. I don't get the same information he gets.
Caught red-handed. Manipulation. Trapped. We would have been trapped. The building itself. So how I kind of explained it to Candy is that for those that have seen the movie Hansel and Gretel.
That's good.
Or if you've heard the story, of course everybody's heard the story of Hansel and Gretel and how they got to that house of candy and cakes and gingerbreads and all that type of stuff, right? And the more that they looked at it, the more it became enticing. The more that they looked at it, the more they became hungry. The more that they looked at it, the more it entranced them to go up to the door and go inside. Same thing with this building. Did the same thing to us. So be very conscientious about the frequencies that you're walking into, because remember, once you leave your house, once you leave your sacred space, you become the invader. You're the one that goes into their experience. It's not your sanctuary. You're not fully protected outside of your protection. Because when you're in your sanctuary, you're protected with your body, right? And then outside your body is also protected because you're inside your sanctuary. Outside your sanctuary is another country.
So, I know that someone might be wondering this. Can you set your intention for protection before you go out, so therefore it's like your team following you and protecting you?
Yes. But think about it. If your team is protecting you, it's kind of like a security detail. And you got crowds of people, right? Around you. Oh my God, look at who it is. Oh! And you need a security team. Well, your guys are your security team. So they're protecting you, but there's still all this bombardment, and then one person slips through. Same thing when you go out, your team is your security, and a being slips through, or a frequency slips through. So you're not safe unless you're safe in your own protection, but you need to be aware of your protection. If it comes down or not, you need to keep on, replenishing that shield, replenishing it, because things are being thrown at you every second of every time that you're outside.
What I believe Kidd is saying is that always being the observant and recognize those signs. So when the signs of frustration, the signs of negative thoughts, the signs of victim mentality, the signs of grumbling, when you see signs, you need to go take care of something.
No, we don't have any balloons, do we?
I don't think so. Why?
Because it's a good visualization that if you blow up a balloon, you're the middle of that balloon, right? And the balloon itself is your protection. But the more that something gets thrown at it, which is a person, which is a frequency, which is a vibration, which is a word, which is a thought, which is anything that's outside of your experience, is bombarding this balloon. And then suddenly something is sharp, pokes it, and poof, it pops. There goes your shield. Because somebody said, look at that bitch, she ugly, and you took that personal. Oh, how rude. There goes your protection.
Okay, that won't bother you? Someone walks by and go, you got an ugly baby. That'll bother you. Don't you talk about my
That
child
little
like that.
demon came out of that? No. Anything like that. You take it personal. How rude. There goes your protection. Just think of it like that. So then you blow up another balloon and put up another protection. You have to be conscious while you are out and about outside of your sacred space.
Yeah, those were good times.
They were good times. But Margit is watching it from the beginning. So that's why it's a very big delay.
Oh, I see.
They'll get to this point, watch, hi.
Yeah, we do have that option on where people can watch from the beginning or rewind.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so when you recognize your attachment, your emotional attachment to a situation, and you don't attach to it, there you go. You're as good as gold. But then there's that time when I'm like, kid, today's a good day.
Because the box said so.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right, babe.
You know, every time that we start getting flustered and, things are, oh, how cute are how things are just, starting to break down. She's the first one that usually recognizes that we are, our shield is becoming, worn out and worn down. She uses that phrase and it gets us both back into the alignment. Oh, yeah. Put up my protection again.
That has been so powerful, hasn't it? Yeah, today's a good day because the box said so.
Yep, stayed decentralized. Chevron difference, overturning, got rid of them. Got rid of what?
What? Where?
Was that during the talk of the Social Security? Yeah, I think so. Of course, I'm talking about the one in D.C. Wait.
The doors have been closed. Yeah, boarded up.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not other places. Not yet. Coming, though. It's coming.
It's coming. So Candy and I were thinking, oh, look at that. High fives. Hi. No. Uh-oh. I had a birthday Saturday, and ever since then, I've been feeling off-center. I've only been out of my house once. I took my tribe with me. I'm not sure how to get out of this funk.
I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom.
Yes, I do believe that all those three, every three-letter agency, no matter what it is, and sometimes the four-letter agency that begins with F and ends with A, is also evil. All those type of agencies, anything that has to deal with the big G of this world has to go. That's what I feel. Yes, Maria, lion's mane is an amazing herb that helps to not just rebuild your cells in your brain, but it helps to bring a lot of stabilization to, or a lot of healing in this general area of your body. Helps to bring calmness, too. And Gloria, yes, I do believe that being a voter is a trap as well. And we shouldn't have to put in that type of work just to get, just to allow somebody to be our voice. We need to be able to be our own voice. And that's why I believe that we need to get into the councils. not the presidency, not the governments, councils, kind of like the council on Star Trek. Every, what do you call that?
You talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Let's call it a frontier, I guess. I don't know. Every city has their own council. And then that council counsels with a higher council that counsels, all the other councils. And then that council goes to one council of the world. So every city has their council. So people can express what needs to be expressed to that council, which then that council goes to the council of let's say the United States. And then if it needs to, that council goes to the higher council of the world. And every council member has their own region. The council members of the world, each one has their own region that they, oversee. And if it needs to be brought up to all the other council members, that's what happens. And then there is something or someone at the very top. Territories. Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Territories. Gloria, thank you. That's what I believe that we're going to be getting into. And that's what we need. Because that is more of a high vibrational way of thinking. Because it's not relying on one man alone. There is going to be no president of the world or king of this land. It's all, everybody is equal to everyone, and we all go to the one that can actually make sense of everything. The Federation, each Federation, yes, we could call it that too. Thank you, Maria.
So I'd like to close up, but I was wondering, are you up for one reading for the collective? Don't have to.
Well, I can pull something out and see what it has to do with everything as the collective. So I believe, in all honesty, that's going to be the biggest thing that we're going to be looking into is that council. And it's going to be amazing.
Do you mind if I turn off this light?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's really hurting my eyes. Ooh, that's dark. Okay. I'll turn on the light above us.
If that will turn on, because it didn't turn on for me.
Oh.
It's dead, Jim.
That'll have to,
Ezra Eagle talks about that. You give me no more president. Yes. There is going to be no more presidency. A Federation Council reading.
A Federation Council reading. That's cute.
Remember, we talked about that too. We are awakening to the point to where we are the Galactic Federation of Truth and Justice. We are the next seats of that. So now I'm in Arizona, and I believe the same time zone as you. I'm all mixed up. Next week I will hopefully get on time.
Mm-hmm. Candy's gone again. Poof.
Oh. No, I'm not using you today.
Mr. T wants to address the nation in Georgia. I just got a warning, guys.
Ooh. Ooh. What are we going to be looking forward to?
When is that happening, Lee?
Get used to it, Baja girl. She said, it's so hot here. Sorry, just had to.
So, I made homemade bread, and of course, I wanted some, and so I ate it. And I started to feel the inflammation, and my mind was getting foggy, and I couldn't remember simple things. There's a game that I play with my son and daughter and grandkids. It's called Minecraft.
Everybody knows of Minecraft.
And I couldn't remember the word nether. You know, when you go through the portal, and where it's all fiery and brimstone. So I was like, hey, kid, how about something, let's go to hell. Because I couldn't think of the netherworld. And so, but that got my point across. Kid knew exactly what I was trying to say.
You mean the nether? Yeah, that.
Uh-huh. It's just, we have fun. We can make anything fun, can't we, guys? Oh, is this an after-party reading?
Well, let's just say that this reading is basically saying that it's go time. And through this time of purging, because we got the autumn card, and the autumn card is all about releasing and letting go. Releasing and letting go of all that is, as we are transitioning into something new, something unforeseen. Something is going to happen, and we need to stay in the remembrance of who you are, of who we truly are. Meaning, remember who you are. You carry stardust in your bones, your ancestors' wisdom in your blood, and the whole universe in your soul. Know yourself, and nothing will bring you down. Through this time of letting go, you need to remember who you are, and you carry stardust in your bones, your ancestors' wisdom in your blood, and the whole universe in your soul. Know yourself, and nothing will bring you down. Through this season of letting go, we need to stay in the frequency of it's always tea time. Meaning, eternity, endless moments, and repetition. This is just a repetitious cycle. We're going through it again. We've already been through, what do you call that? The purging of one lifetime to get rid of what needed to be gotten rid of, but then we were infiltrated again. But this time, this is the last time that it's going to happen, because we have learned our lesson that if you cut off the head of the Hydra, it's just going to grow two more, which means that everyone that's being caught is being put on ice in Gitmo. So whatever that you're seeing, whenever they say, oh, they've been executed, they've been taken care of. They're taken care of? Yes, they've been put on ice. So the joy card came about. What? This has words? No words.
No, you can't see?
No, this has no words. Just says joy. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So stay joyful, stay high vibrational, stay ready to be receiving. Yeah, everything is coming to an ending. Because the Ten of Cups. Oh, yeah, turn off that light.
I can turn it off now?
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Okay.
Because it's disrupting. The Ten of Cups. Ah. Happy family, reunion, happy endings, and marriage. Remember what I said? What the stars said? That the 15-minute series are coming up, right? The domes are going to be going over those 15-minute cities, which then everything is going to be destroyed, which means that everything is going to be purged and cleansed and released and whatever else. And we're going to be having access to the ships, which means that our loved ones are coming back. Reunion and happy endings. It's all coming to a head. Stay joyful. Stay in the high vibration as things are happening. You got Mend a Broken Heart Fairy saying, I can't see that. Let's see if this will show it. Come on.
Dang. There we go. Mend
Healing from heartache. So, things are going to be happening and we're going to be mending. We are going to be putting things back together. And just like what we talked about earlier with the kids, the men and women that are coming up from these tunnels, that are coming up from all this traumatic experiences, be ready, be strong, be joyful. Remember, we are the foundation of all those that are coming up. We are the ones that they are going to be building off of. They are going to be needing somebody to lean on, and that's what we are here for. We are here to bring that next understanding, the next empowerment, the next form of love, peace, joy, higher vibration, and remembrance. The frequency that we need to stay in right now is the root chakra. The root chakra. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well in the physical world. Things are changing. Stay rooted, stay grounded, stay ready, and stay aware of your surroundings at this moment. Something big is going to be happening. And Gloria says, seen something about GA, that's Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. Might have to evacuate.
Why?
Don't know.
And why would Mr. T be going there to address the nation? Isn't that... Wait, guys. Georgia, isn't that where the new government part of the government is going to be?
Something big is going to be coming down the pike. And we, you, me, her, us, we have to be ready. We have to be strong. Because so many people are not going to know what's happening when this hits. So stand strong and just know that you're not alone in this. We're all not alone in this. We all got each other. That's why we're keeping the same time, the same day, no matter what is happening in our experience. We're always going to be popping up on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Pacific Standard Time. Unless time changes, which is very doubtful. But
if perchance that we cannot, we'll leave a message on YouTube and Facebook.
But there's always a way to also contact us, and we can always do a, what do you call that?
Oh my goodness. So Baja Girl just heard that people are upchucking blood and animals are sick.
From a chemical fire.
Wow.
Remember, even before Allie Carter said that we're watch out for fires, remember the stars said weeks before,
Watch out for fires.
watch out for fires. Forest fires, any type of fires, and these fires are happening. These floods are happening. All these things are happening. We have to stay in the high vibration.
Wait a minute. Dynamite, what do you mean New Sarah is getting ready to be activated?
Military is getting ready to start cleaning house worldwide. It'll be anytime.
What's the New Sarah? Is that just a phone
I have
change?
not heard of that yet.
I haven't been on TikTok today.
Yeah, I haven't been on TikTok today either.
I've been dragging butt all day.
We've all been dragging butt all day. Wow, there's that. Okay, so the game of life. The game of life. Let's see what our affirmation is for today, shall we? For those that have not seen Discovery of Witches, I implore you, watch it. It is very good. I've learned a lot from it. You guys can learn a lot from it because what we can learn from witches, magic is not evil. Think about it. Magic's not evil. Magic is like guns. Guns don't kill people. Magic doesn't kill people. People do. It's how it's used. The RV is zeroing in. I do believe that. Yes.
I do too.
Words are not evil. It's how it's used. Vibration is not evil. It's how it's used. Anything can be used for evil. Anything can be used for good. But using it for neutrality, that is where we need to be. Anything used needs to be in the neutral aspect of not taking sides, but of doing what needs to be done for thyself to help thy collective. Because we are all in this together. We are all in connected by that spider web. And once that one string is pulled, the whole thing is going to be coming down. And that's when we, as the guides of light, the guides of shadow, stand up and become the pillars of the foundation that is already laid for all the other ones to lean upon. So, the affirmation is, I cannot lose anything that belongs to me by divine right. I am under grace and not under law. I cannot lose anything that belongs to me by divine right. I am under grace and not under law. I liked Collateral Beauty. Do you have any more movies to recommend? Oh, a good one would be...
Discovery of Witches.
We've already said that. Something else. Doctor Who. No, we've already said that too. What is the one on Netflix that...
Sense8?
Sense8 is really good. It's a show, it has 2 seasons, and it's from the same creators that created The Matrix. And it's all about 7? 8. Yeah,
Somewhere around there.
8. Duh. Sense8. Hello. 8 people that are born at the same time on the same day, and they are connected, and they're able to not only use each other's bodies, but they can see what each other's doing and they can have that connection with each other. And that's where we're going to get into. That's where we're going to go. Telepathy. It shows all of that type of stuff. It is crazy and it's amazing. So there's Sense 8. There's Infinite with Mark Will something? Forgot his name. The hot man named Mark. That's a good one. We talked about that. Moonfall. That's a good one. But the one that with that never dies. The people that never die.
Oh, Old Guard.
Old Guard.
That's a really good one.
That one I would suggest. And that's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Sense 8. Sense, like senses.
There you
sense,
go.
And the number 8. There we
Sonia
go. Thank you,
said
Sonia.
it. Yeah.
That one. That one is amazing.
And then the Old Guard.
The Old Guard. That's also on Netflix. That one is all about eternal life, of never dying, of also where we're going to be getting in, where we're going into as well. I still have not seen the 1,000 words, but City of Trees says 1,000 words. I still want to see that. So I believe we are going to get that movie really soon, and we'll let you guys know what we think of it. Because 1,000 words?
Jupiter Ascending is good. Yeah.
Jupiter. Oh, yes. Jupiter Ascending. Oh, what was that one?
What? Which one?
Oh, yeah. Jupiter Ascending was also made by the same creators of Matrix as well. Mm-hmm. So that one also explains a lot of how we were manipulated into seeing something false, and that's why the conspiracy theorists were looked at as crazy. And it shows how all of us were manipulated in the way of seeing that. And now that we have awakened, we can actually see the lies. There was a saying that a pastor said, or not a pastor, but a guy that said, when your children are leaving churches, it's not that you've trained them wrong, it's that they have grown. Let me see if I saved it. Did I save it? I better have saved it. Oh, I didn't save it? Wait, no, I did.
Your kids are not leaving the church because you didn't train them enough. Your kids are leaving the church because you trained them well enough to develop a sense for truth and justice. You let them read the words of Jesus. And they got it. And they've recognized that the church doesn't seem to be interested in those words. They're not leaving because they don't know the truth. They're leaving because they do.
That's amazing. I love that.
It's not that you trained your kids wrong. It's that you've trained them strong enough to see the lies, to see what was hidden, and now they're able to see the truth. You have never been trained wrong. You were trained in a way to see the truth the way it is. You've never done anything wrong. You just found a different way on how to do it. Hello? Stop thinking you've ever done anything wrong. It's not about doing it wrong. It's the choices between easy or right. Take that. No.
I gotta go.
Okay. All right, everybody.
You can stay on if you want
We
to.
love you guys. No, it's okay. I'm getting hungry. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. This was truly amazing to be able to spend this time with you guys and to be able to have this type of conversation, because this conversation is very much needed. Stay high vibrational. Stay joyful. Remember, you've never done anything wrong. You just made the choice between easy and right.
So, no, go ahead. Are you finished?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you guys, has anyone looked for this box at Costco or picked one up yourself since we started this? Today's a good day because the box said so. Oh, well, everyone loved the chat.
Yeah, this was a lot of information.
Well, I'm telling you, when you let the stars flow, man, I'm riveted. And if I'm riveted, I know other people will be too. And it's time now that the stars have their voice. It's time. You've shown so much. And look at how you and I have grown because of what you're shown. So it's important stuff.
Everyone has a time.
It's good shit, man.
It is good shit.
It's good shit.
It is good shit. It is good. I'm in England, but I will look for my box.
She said it will probably say this way up. UK likes that saying.
Marjik, to be honest, the EBS, I would believe, is going to be not how we think it's going to be. It's not going to be on our phones. It's not going to be on our TVs. It's most likely going to be on the TikTok and other different sites like YouTube, Facebook. They're all going to go off.
Think about what has already been happening. They have already been releasing so much information, and where? All the social media channels that we watch.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. It's out there.
X.
Oh, yeah, Twitter. Twitter is X, yeah.
And remember, do not fall for that scam about the Q phones, because that's just putting money in other people's pockets that are creating something to go with the supposed narrative.
It's like the Trump coin that came out, or the Trump card. People were dumping money for that stuff, and where did it go? Nowhere. They got their money and ran. So, yeah.
So just be aware of that, because the Q phones are supposed to be free. They're supposed to come with what is needed so we can actually get onto our bank accounts without it being, what do you call that? Infiltrated. There's no way to infiltrate it. There's a lot of people on Instagram still, actually. Yeah. All right, you guys, we love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys